What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another TB Toycast unboxing right here on YouTube. And of course, this week we are unboxing the Super7 Thundercats Deluxe Lion-O figure. I'm really excited to dive into this figure. I purchased this at Target. If anyone is interested in grabbing this figure, you can grab it at Target. But of course, if you're just now joining me here on YouTube, I do appreciate you checking out this video. Check out some of my other unboxing videos. I only have a few in the can, but I'm going to get a lot more up and going as the weeks and days go on. So definitely hit that subscribe button and let me know that you enjoy the videos, if you do in fact enjoy them. And of course, the TB Toycast itself. Every Thursday, the flagship podcast. We have a lot of fun on there. Me and Travis talking what's happening in the world of toys as far as news, things we're picking up, things we're excited about. Plus, every week there is a main event. Most recently, we covered an episode on the Beetlejuice toy line back from Kenner. Really fun for the Halloween time in which we did the episode. A lot of toy lines back in the day based upon movies. We don't see that too much nowadays. Or if we do, it's like Star Wars, where it's like a long standing toy line. But back in the day, just a quick little, one series line of figures was pretty common. But that being said, I'm looking forward to this figure. I'm not the biggest Thundercats guy. It was a little bit before my time. It kind of falls into the He-Man, G.I. Joe thing. And I've talked about this on the podcast. I have two older cousins, and they loved He-Man, they loved G.I. Joe, and they love Thundercats. So when I would go over to their house, I would play with the old figures. I remember playing with some of the Thundercats figures. I didn't really know much about them. They looked a little He-Man-esque to me, which that's kind of what you see here, a big barbarian cat, right? Like, what's not to like about that? It's a really fun line. And this line in itself, I would like to talk about this and get your guys' thoughts. This figure is great. $35, right? Now, Super 7, the thing with any Super 7 figure, as we have seen, a lot of times these are $55 minimum, so they're very expensive. And I think it's not so much that people don't like the figure, they're just like, $35, $55, I can't justify that. 35 is still a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit more doable than say 55. So again, it's one of those things you have to determine how much do you actually like this. But this is obviously in more of a basic carding type figure, a little bit on the skinny card, but I do like that. 14 plus there on the top, Super 7. On the back here, really cool artwork. I'm going to scoot that back so everyone can see it. I love the artwork on the back. You can see all your favorites, Panthro there, Lion-O, of course, Mumra there on the top. Love the artwork, but I miss the lineup, the rosters, I used to call it. Like, who else is coming out? Because for this Target line, we only got Lion-O and we got Monkian, which he'll be unboxed on this channel as well sometime soon. I miss that, and I think with some of these newer figures, we don't see that as much. What do you guys think? Do you think, is this something like that where you're like, okay, I'm cool with this? Or I want to see, I've heard, Kyle Peterson call it the cross-sell. I've always called it the roster, like who else is coming? Because as a kid, sometimes you go to a store and you see Lion-O, and maybe that's the only one you saw. You flip it around, who else are they making? Are they making all these guys? Have they made all these guys? Because these are technically, my understanding, the same figures as the Ultimates, but a lot less accessories. So for me, $35, I'm all about it, as opposed to $55. I'm not saying I wouldn't spend $55, but I could see someone being like, you know what, I'll buy this all day long. I think if Super 7 made a figure like this for the Ninja Turtles, it would do huge business. So we'll see if that happens. I think this is probably a bit of a test run from Super 7 to see if this will do well. As you can see, he's just got a couple of accessories there. The paint deco, a little bit different than what we're used to, but not too much. So I guess it's different enough to where if you want both, you can justify both. Or if you're like, you know what, this is good enough for me, then that's all you need. But let's open it up. Let's see what it looks like here. Classic packaging, nothing too different there. The good old twist ties. Ugh. I will talk about this a lot on the channel. I miss the days of action figures being easy to open. Oh my gosh. There we go. Pull out his accessories here. No tape. That's a nice change of pace. So we got everything in the world keeping me from this figure. Okay, we got him open. So much trash. And get that out of the way. And let's look at Lion-O here. Oh, pretty cool. Good articulation. Little bit stiff joints. It's probably normal. I have some Super 7. I don't have a ton of Super 7. Mostly just the Ninja Turtle figures, but these knees are a little bit tight. Okay, here we go. Trying to make sure he doesn't break right on camera. That'd be a good start, wouldn't it? Let's pop it. Well, I assume this goes on his hand. Does it not? Does his hand pop off? Maybe it does. I mean, that's how it goes. Let's try that. There we go. That makes a little bit more sense. Living and learning. There we go. Put the sword in his hand. See, I hate this. Like, this hand's so stiff, you can't even hardly put the sword in. So, oh my gosh. All right. Oh. Struggles. There we go. Okay. All right. Actually, not a bad looking figure here. It's not an interesting knee joint there. I do like that. Gotta go side to side. See if he'll stand up well. Stand him kind of back so we can get a good shot of him. Yeah, not a bad figure. We got the extra hand there. So for most Super 7 figures, I think it's like 5 sets of hands, usually an extra head, extra accessories. But do you need more than this? Well, I don't know if you do. I like this a lot. And I think for what you're offered here, this is perfectly fine. This is absolutely perfectly fine. It's perfect for me. And what I talk about this a lot. I've talked about this on the podcast as well. It stopped me in my tracks at the store, at Target. And I, like most of you, will hit my Target up a couple of times a week, or as often as I can usually. And, the weird thing about toy hunting these days is we know what's out. We know what's available. But I didn't know about this. Now, not that I didn't research it. I just honestly don't remember seeing anything on it. It's possible that I just missed it or I wasn't paying attention, but this stopped me in my tracks. I was walking by and I was like, ooh, Lion-O. And then I looked in another spot there in the collector section. I found Monkian, did a little research there in the store, like literally in the store, like, oh, these are 2 releases that they made. And you can now buy these on BigBadToyStore as well. If you're not, if you don't have a Target near you, or if they have ran out. I actually was able to go back and get another set for a friend of mine, so they're pretty easy to find. And I think this could be a game changer for Super 7. Having these figures available on retail pegs, I think does a lot. I've always wondered about the Super 7 business model. And please sound off in the comments or hit me up on social media at TBToycast, because I feel like to go through the process and make the molds and create the figures only to do a pre-order and then that's it. That's only people that got it. Like, I think people get into figures at different times. And if nothing's available, like the Super 7 Turtles, I love that line. I haven't pre-ordered a single one of those. I bought them all, like on Big Bad. I bought a lot of them at toy shows and stuff, and at some local toy shops, because it's one of those things. Sometimes you need to see it in person to know if you want it. And I think sometimes that pre-order model does hurt your business in the long run. But at the same time, I also get you don't want to order 10,000 units and sit on them for several years. But I don't think that will be the case here. I do think this might have been a test run for Super 7 and for Target. Will these move at retail? In my experience, I feel like they are moving, but I have been easily able to find them. So I don't know for sure. But overall, I do like it. I like this Lion-O a lot. Really, really cool figure. I think if you have I've heard he matches up really well with the Masters of the Universe Classic line from Mattel from way back in the day. So you could probably pair him up there if you wanted to. And he probably fits in well with the Masterverse line. I do like that waist articulation. That's very nice. Really nice figure. Like I said, with Super 7, I've never thought the figures were bad. I just always felt like for a lot of these, they were a little out of my price range. And I think that's probably the case for a lot of people that may not collect all the Super 7 figures. So really, really fun. Definitely one I'm glad to have in the collection. But thank you guys for checking out this unboxing video. Like I said at the beginning of the show, make sure to check out TB Toycast every Thursday, wherever you get your podcast. and let me know what you would like to see me unbox. I plan to unbox a variety of stuff. As you all know, I've unboxed a Big Rubber Guy. I've unboxed a Simpsons Jax figure and now a Super 7 Thundercats. Obviously, some wrestling figures are going to be unboxed. Some Masters of the Universe is going to be unboxed. G.I. Joe. Plus some other lines that I'm kind of dipping my toes into that will be coming very, very soon. So thank you guys for checking out this TB unboxing, and we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.